No, I'm still very happy to work in this industry. I would not change many things. Well, I was in my young age at that time. I wanted to join firstly the musical instruments industry, which I did. And then working at Yamaha, I could experiment all the departments, including audio professional, consumer electronics, music schools, so many different applications, and this is still a good memory, good memory for me. Well, I don't know really. I guess maybe my French language makes the things much more easy when talking with the colleagues. Well, NEXO is quite a small company. It's only 106 people. So we should take advantage of that. And being a French person, talking mainly to French people, makes the thing go easier, I think. Although it's a medium-sized company, the company expanded very early to export. And now our export business is nearly 87% of our total turnover. This means that even if we are quite a mid-sized company, we have a kind of intercultural way of doing business with USA, to China, to Japan, to Latin America, and of course to Europe. So we used to deal every day with Japanese people in the morning and handicap at night with Mexican people. So we like, this is very rich experience for us. Well, first answer is NEXO could enjoy and still enjoys a very good distribution network all over the world. And this is the main factor of development for NEXO over the last 40 years. And some of these distributors know NEXO much more than I do. And they can tell me, long stories about their NEXO experience, and they still love NEXO. And this is something, I think, which is a big asset for NEXO, is the loyalty of many of our distributors. But of course, from time to time, based on some maybe some political factors, but mainly based on the performance, in some countries we had to change our distribution. But the thing is that now Yamaha is distributing NEXO in Japan for now more than 12 years, in the USA and Canada. Recently, more recently, we had Singapore and Turkey, and from this year, 2017, we have Yamaha in India. But that was based on mainly on the performance of the country. We like very much to work with Yamaha subsidiaries also. They can provide us with a very high level of distribution service. So it's mainly on the country, case by case.
The Made in France label, let's call it, is, I believe, synonymous of quality for high-end products. I believe NEXO is manufacturing high-end products. As Jean stated, we're a small company, so we have to keep very high control on what we're doing. So basically, this is the reason why, from the beginning, NEXO has been investing on all the manufacturing capabilities, and we keep on investing with our subsidiaries south of France. So we're expanding the production lines. And so the Made in France means that we control what we do to ensure quality, and that's the main thing. The Made in France on its own doesn't mean much. It means something if it directly connects to the high-end quality of what we manufacture. I think Yamaha, and nobody will deny that, has an extremely high reputation in terms of reliability of the products, series of manufacturing control. You know, Yamaha has factories, is an enormous manufacturer with factories worldwide, basically. And all the Yamaha products, not only the professional audio, but the musical instruments, everything that Yamaha manufactures always has extremely high reputation in terms of sustainability, reliability, and quality, basically. And so that's probably something extremely strong in the Yamaha culture, but also maybe in the Japanese culture. So on the NEXO side, yes, joining Yamaha, of course, has been a challenge for us, so that as a subsidiary of the Yamaha Group, yes, we would be, let's say, Yamaha compliant. So that's brought, I believe, very good benefits in NEXO in terms in defining the right processes, right? How to ensure, you know, A to Z that we're doing the things right from the design starting point all the way down to shaping and using. So that's one important point, I would say, culturally. The very first benefit of NEXO joining the Yamaha Group converted almost immediately into the NX amp and the DSP know-how of Yamaha coming into NEXO. So we have access through the Yamaha Group to a variety and a quantity of know-how, yes, which is enormous. The core business of NEXO is acoustics, electroacoustics, yes, DSP, with some very, you know, I believe, strong ideas on, you know, what it should be and how it should be like. But you cannot, sound is a global thing, so you cannot dissociate, you know, more or less from the microphone to the speaker, every single component there, you know, if one fails, then everything is wrong. So the industry globally, not only NEXO, has been progressively moving towards, you know, system solution and I would say service provider. We love it when the results basically exceeds by far what people would have expected from such box. So, and I can give you examples, yes. I can talk about cardioid subwoofers at NEXO, right? And you go behind the box and there's no low frequency. Nobody expects that. We were among the first to manufacture cardioid subwoofers. That's very surprising. Or I can take a very late example, the ID24, which is the smallest cabinet in our range. Yes, it's a very nice cabinet to show and to play, because clearly you can read on people's face that this is way beyond what they expect from what they see. Right. So I probably would put that, you know, among the top, you know, qualifications or philosophical approach for products. And then once you've said that, then you can derive into specifications. So this means, of course, small, powerful, reliable, you know, good directivity control and so on. So, but I would say the main message is somewhere around that. And of course, we're on a business thing, so it's, you know, the end users are going to evaluate and judge what we do, yes, and so we must, you know, always surprise them with, Jean mentioned, the clarity, the quality, etc., etc.
Remarks from our users, maybe that can be helpful into the next development of our product, especially for replacement of the STM system in the future. We are now collecting many good suggestions. Now, so it's not coming only from our engineers, but it's coming from the field.
I always found that the great ideas, simple, great, you know, not for products necessarily, but for features, you know, they come because the users are the experts. The users are the ones, you know, daily operating the systems. And they can be extremely fast in phrasing in a couple of words what would be better, you know. And that's gold. That's enormous value for us, because then when we feed that back at NEXO, you know, immediately we can convert these couple of words, you know, into something which they did not ask for, you know, but which they expressed clearly, you know, how we could make it better. And so, so yes, there's an enormous deal of information to gather from the outside world and to bring back here at NEXO.
were hired. Well, in fact, we hired quite a lot since beginning of this year, and I could not meet with all of them yet. But and I'm one of the youngest at NEXO. You have to consider.
The Yamaha skills were very much around everything which related to the 𝗡𝗘𝗫 engine and the power, you know, the power modules, power supply, power modules, mechanics. You know that at Yamaha, one of the reasons of the strength of the product, the Yamaha product, is mechanics. They make the chassis extremely solid, okay, which is why one of the reasons why their product don't fail. So that was obviously the core know-how of Yamaha in that product development. And then the DSP side and everything which is algorithm related to the speakers, all that was an NEXO development headed by 𝗧𝗿𝗂𝗍𝗂𝗏 here. And I believe it is the first time where it is the first amplifier where actually the DSP module of the amplifier actually did not control only the speaker, the drivers themselves, but also the amplifier protections. Many, and it goes on, and it goes on. Of course, there are big events. If you ask me, in my story with NEXO, there are some key moments, of course, when we designed the Stade de France and implemented the alpha there, and we had clearly the best sound system ever implemented in a stadium worldwide, okay, and everybody would compliment it. Suddenly we raised the bar, and yes, because I was part of that, of course, I was extremely proud of my contribution. Proud of projects we've done, you know, proud of, you know, 10 years heading R&D, proud of the company.
I don't have a specific event in mind to answer your question, but thinking about that, what I like the most at NEXO is to see customers coming here, having some demo with our products, and returning to their countries with sparkling eyes, smiling, placing their orders. We have a huge success with our demo here. So this brings a lot of confidence to all of us here. I'm proud of smiles with the staff. I like that. It's a good atmosphere working at NEXO with passionate people. Well, in the industry, many companies are passionate, but we really have that feeling at NEXO. And well, this is what I like the most. We are not only designing, manufacturing, and selling our systems. We are also teaching the young generation. And so we have a quite successful, I think, very successful program. And we call it ETC, Education Training Certification. And this program is arranged not only here at headquarters, but also is running on a worldwide basis. François is in charge with his team of also educating the young generations. But sometimes this place here looks like a campus. You can see young people, young guys, young ladies, very happy to be at NEXO and learning from NEXO.
In the live, you realize that the education level in all the music schools and university has a little bit of latency. They're still very strong in teaching producing music, you know, recording arts, and so on and so on. And you realize that in the live business, eventually they're a little bit behind, while probably today the live industry is the biggest employer, you know, among engineers, for sound engineers. And so we have defined these products with things we have identified which are basically almost not taught, okay? And so this covers, you know, many topics which can be technical, such as network, but we cover topics like subwoofer design. But we talk, I think we are the only ones to do that, and this is very important for our responsibility. We talk about sound as physics, but also as a perceptive phenomena. So we teach people, this young generation, you know, sound reinforcement is sometimes about playing loud, so they should understand what how they hear, basically, how they should eventually protect their ears. How, you know, this is also part of our responsibility as a sound reinforcement company. So we usually bring to them things they don't get, you know, somewhere else. So they're very. There is a word that came once or twice around here about our distributors. This is loyalty. You know, we also have an enormous loyalty, I believe, of employees inside the company at NEXO, and I believe also that by giving that, these programs are free. We're not charging for them. So it's not about products, but of course, no question that at the time we do workshops, you know, we're using our products and our softwares. But it is not. ETC is not about product training. It is about our responsibility as one of the pro audio manufacturers to bring the level, you know, and make sure everybody's at the level.